Hey, everybody, this is Jared Albrick, the Death Probe, the yard sale artist, here with another video for our Crusaders Club members. We appreciate each and every one of you, so that's why we do these special videos just for you guys on our Patreon page. Thank you guys so much for your support. We truly appreciate it. And on this I finished episode, I actually finished Batman and the Outsiders, the showcase from DC, Volume 1. I had never read any Batman and the Outsiders before, so this was an interesting journey for me. Now, I want to say, I'm almost positive, Delvin the Dark Web Williams bought me this showcase a few years ago as a gift, probably birthday or Christmas, something like that. He knows I'm a big fan of Batman. And being a big fan of Batman, you would think, well, certainly you've read Batman and the Outsiders. Well, I actually haven't. I never read any Batman and the Outsiders. To be honest with you, younger me was always thinking it was like, okay, they really just kind of used Batman as a venue to introduce sort of these sort of B-level heroes. Although, you know, over the years, I've gotten to know some of these guys like Metamorpho and Katana and Black Lightning. You know, they've kind of risen with me even outside of Batman and the Outsiders, but I never really knew much about Halo or Geoforce. So I was always like, it's the Batman book that I don't really need to read. And so now I've read the entire showcase. Has my opinion changed? Yeah, I'd say it has. I mean, first of all, it's most of this is Jim Aparo art. And he is a phenomenal Batman artist. And to see him draw Batman and all the other characters and all the action, it's really, really great. Now, Mike W. Barr does all the writing. And I hadn't read a lot of Mike W. Barr stuff either, but I enjoyed it for the most part. You could tell that this was an era at DC where I think Teen Titans was their best-selling book. And I think they wanted to sort of capture that team thing. I think they're like, okay, this Teen Titans team concept is working really well for us, so let's do that and use sort of, like I said, Batman as a venue for that. And so I think that's probably why it came about. I mean, I'm just speculating, but that's what it felt like. So I start reading it and I go, okay, you know, I'm kind of getting into it, and the Jim Aparo art's really helping me out, and the stories aren't bad, and the stories just keep getting better and better. And they're at their most fun when they sort of pass the focus around to the different characters. I mean, one of the more fun things about Halo, even though she was a character I didn't know much about, is her mysterious past. And they sort of slowly chip away at that. And then when they finally do reveal it, there's even more mystery after the reveal. So I thought that was pretty clever. Some of the downsides, like some of the detective work that Barr writes for Batman, is just, it's really kind of weird and a little too out there for me. Like when he decides he's figured out what Halo's real name is, Violet, because Violet is the color on her spectrum that she uses the least or whatever. I was just like, this, okay. There was a couple of instances of Batman, you know, deduction skills that just were like, that makes no sense at all. So a little bit of a minus for the Batman detective skills in here being a little bit wonky. But a little bit of plus for wonkiness in general. There was a two-parter, I think, a two-part story near the end. And this has the first, I want to say 15 issues of 19 issues. I'm sorry, 19 issues. Near the end, there's kind of a wonky story where they end up traveling back in time into Egypt. And the team has to help quell an insurrection there in Egypt. And that was kind of fun. I think it's at its best when they do a little bonkers stuff like that. Although it was fun to watch them sort of infiltrate other compounds and things like that. So overall, it's better than I thought it would be. I really enjoyed Batman and the Outsiders. I thought it was really good. Again, the art spectacular, the writing mostly good, with a few kind of head scratchers here and there, but overall mostly good. So it all came together rather well. I'm really glad I read the showcase. So we'll find out what the next sort of big graphic novel is that I finish. I tend to do a showcase style, sort of a paperback style book, and then I read one of my hardbounds, one of my fancy hardbounds from back when Omaha Bound was doing that. So I'm certain the next time I pop back up with a sort of a thick multi-issued book, it'll be a hardcover from Omaha Bound. But as for now, I want to thank you all again for being Crusaders Club members and supporting us. We really appreciate it. And I would recommend Batman and the Outsiders, the showcase. It was a good read. It was pretty art. And I got to learn a little more about some of these side characters that I didn't know much about. So in the end, good times. And we'll check you guys later. Thanks for being here. I'm going to be froze now.